And Hargrave was the best player on the field. And for the second straight year, he falls short to Patrick Mahomes. So look at him take on this double, sit very heavy on it, split it, and then eventually make this tackle right here on Pacheco. That is freaking dunkulous stuff right there. All right, so we get to here. And what's very interesting is this looks like this ended up being some variation of zone, which is crazy to think about because this player actually ran with Rice to the other side of the field. So it makes you think that it's man coverage, but it's not. Still, it's very soft. Look, this linebacker is all the way far back. The vertical from Kelsey carried 54 Wagner out of the play. And look at all this green grass, right? And it's underneath. You got to remember, time right now serves no purpose. Okay, the Chiefs are going to get to keep the ball regardless. So that is an easy completion. It sets up a 3rd and medium. All right, 3rd and 1. And I have never seen a defensive tackle play this well in this type of spot, not named Chris Jones. It's Hargrave again. Look at this on this 3rd and 1. Splits this double, okay? Swims it, and, the center goes and peels off Fred Warner, and some of this is Fred Warner just drawing so much attention. Hargrave splits that double, and look at this play. Bang! Stops a good running back right in his tracks. Good job by 48 peeling off right here and helping make this play. Now we get to this 4th down. All right, so we get to this 4th and 1, and I do have 2 really major big issues. Major big. That didn't sound smooth at all. 2 big issues from a San Francisco standpoint. So Kansas City burned a timeout to get into the spot. What I would have done is right now call a timeout, right? Make them have to get out of this play and show their hand, because obviously with 4th and 1 with the Super Bowl on the line, they're going to call their absolute best play. The second thing, and this one makes abso-freaking-lutely no sense whatsoever. It is 4th and inches, and you're going to play 2 high safety right here with 15 plus yards to go. I get the logic, okay? You're wanting to force them to drive all the way down the field and score, right? But not in this spot. I would have been far more aggressive, and you're just basically giving away the Super Bowl here, okay? If they would have wanted to run for it, sure. They probably are getting it here with this look. But I would have called a timeout, forced them to get something else, and I also wouldn't have been playing both of my safeties at this depth. So you got a little split zone action. You motion Travis Kelce here to the left side and then bring him back to the right. So Mahomes has an option. If he wants to run it, he can. If he wants to slip it out to Kelce, he can. And, man, I want you to see how soft these corners were playing. This is 4th and 1 with the Super Bowl on the line, and your corner is playing like this far off. That makes absolutely no sense. If Mahomes wanted to throw this right here to Rashee Rice, he could have. This is a smart decision here to just run for it and just pick up the needed yards right there. It's a good block by Rice down the field. That's just too freaking easy. I would have been destroying my DC in this spot. All right, so we get to here, and it's the same thing, okay? Very soft stuff. Their receivers had not been beating you. And look at this. If he wanted to throw this to Kelce, look at how many yards he's gaining after the catch. So he gets this out to MVS, and this is a play where he actually lost him 10 yards right here after getting spun around and going backwards, okay? Right there, you obviously just want to cut up field and give yourself the forward progress. So this ends up being a very lucky play for the 49ers, and it sets up a 2nd and 14. All right, if I'm Kyle Shanahan, I am ripping my DC a new one, okay? It's the same thing. I hate this. This just makes absolutely no sense. If you're going to play on your heels all at the same length, Mahomes just knows that these underneath routes, that's just too much space to just play pitch and catch. And once he sees you are maxing out your blitzes, all you have to do is just throw past this first wave. I hate defenses that don't create multiple layers, whether it's in the pass rush or in the defense. You only have 2 layers of defense right here. There's no twists. There's no real stunts. And that's too easy. It really is just too easy. I understand in 2nd and 14 you want to be conservative, but when you give this much space to this guy, he could break a tackle and do something special. And this time MVS does a smart thing just to fall forward and take the yards that are given to him. All right, it's 3rd and 6, and guess what? They run the same exact play, okay? They're bringing everyone. I don't like zero blitz and Patrick Mahomes. He's just too good. Andy Reid sees this, okay? So the 49ers, when they played the Lions last week, they showed this look, and they actually busted out a cover 2 variant, okay? But now it's just mesh, okay? A very simple mesh concept. You're running 2 shallow drags right here. It's the perfect man beater versus a zero blitz, and it's actually picked up fine, okay? Are we going to get into a holding call right here? Is that holding on MVS, on McKinnon? Maybe that is, but either way, that's just too easy, okay? Way too easy on this 3rd and 6. And what's very funny about that is, this would have been even more open. I would need a wider angle to see if that would have been as open as that looked. But, man, that's just way, way, way too easy right there versus one of the best quarterbacks of all time. All right, so we get to 2nd and 6, and Kyle Shanahan calls a timeout. And, yeah, I would be furious if I'm an offensive head coach having to save my defense from doing this nonstop. Man, it's just not smart, right? All right, so now we get to here, and, man, Hargrave had such a great game, but this is actually the other DT, Givens. If he is able to keep his feet right here, this isn't as big of a gain as it is. But they're able to complete this screen. If he would have been able to keep his feet, it would have helped this. This is just an absolute ridiculous play right here by Fred Warner yet again to bring him down that well. I felt that was a rough spot, but it sets up a 3rd and short. So remember earlier they were able to pass rush lane integrity and not let Mahomes pick it up. 3rd and 1 in the red zone right here. I don't mind more 2 high looks in this spot. Make them have to convert in the red zone to win a Super Bowl. On 4th and 1, I would want these guys to be a little bit closer, but that's okay. No Hargrave in this spot. Kind of a tough spot. I understand he was tired, but you lose your pass rush lane integrity. Does Armstead have a chance to make this play versus Mahomes? No. But he's able to run forward and pick up this 1st down and then some. Okay, he's able to run around Fred Warner. And now Mahomes, you're probably thinking right now, dang, is he going to actually run this in to win the Super Bowl? It'd be nuts. And you can see it here. During the regular season, Mahomes just doesn't run as much. I had the over on his rushing prop because in big Super Bowls, guess what? He's going to tuck and run, and that's exactly what he does right up the gut. And that right there is very, very, very easy. I just would have gotten out of too high. I would have shown some different looks at this point in the drive. All right, so what makes Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid so great? In the red zone, I think it's more Reid than it is Mahomes, but this is a good mixture of both, okay? This play design is so freaking unbelievably filthy. I understand Corn Dog, the play that we're about to break down, is going to be the one that's discussed ad nauseum. This right here, okay? If you were to go through and look at each of the big completions in the drive we already broke down and this one, a good bit of them are completions to guys that leak, right? Or they show like they're doing one thing and they're doing the next, okay? So this looks like a simple running back little swing screen right here, and it makes a lot of sense, right? Once again, it is a variation of quarters on this side, and it looks like 2 on this side. So if they're that far back, let's work the underneath, and you'll see that what Mahomes does to Nick Bosa here is filthy, okay? this is a good job by Travis Kelce selling this screen. Okay, Mahomes is looking right, and it looks like it's a quick screen to Pacheco. And if you were to stop it right here, you're probably thinking, oh my God, Nick Bosa is about to intercept this for the game-winning Super Bowl. And you could see Nick Bosa is like, oh my God, I'm about to intercept this. But it's actually the guy that was initially blocking him that they're running the screen towards. And I want you to see the flow that this fake right here from Mahomes does to these backers. Look at Fred Warner all the way out here. This is ridiculous that Warner even saw this that quickly. Most linebackers would have been flying way over this, and Kelsey's probably scoring. But, man, I want you to see this, okay? Think of yourself as Nick Bosa. Mahomes looks like he's throwing out to the right. He's actually just throwing this to Kelce, okay? And that is just nasty play design. And this was a good job by Kelce. This is some really impressive running. Hargrave sees Kelce. I want you to see Hargrave again. He reads this screen so quickly. God, this guy was phenomenal in this game. So unfreaking believably phenomenal. Look at him read this screen, okay? And then instead of going around here, he knows he's not catching any screener. He then works over the top of this, and then Kelce sees it and sees that there's nothing there. So he actually cuts back against the grain where Hargrave was. That is ridiculous stuff. Kinlaw's not really a playmaker, so he misses that tackle, and Fred Warner misses a tackle, and now you're thinking, wow, Travis Kelce is going to win the Super Bowl here. Look at this. I mean, it's just a ridiculous play design right there, and some good piece of running by Travis Kelce. And you'll see it right here. You're thinking, if you're Nick Bosa, that, I mean, look, he's looking right into the eyes of Mahomes, and then it's just Kelce underneath. There's just nothing you could do about that if you're Bosa, right? Do you just stick with Kelce the entire time? Maybe. But that is just so tough. And that's what makes Andy Reid so freaking good. These leak play designs are just too tough to stop. Lane Kiffin at the next level is really good at that, as is the Washington brass. So there you go. All right, so now we get Corn Dog, okay? This is a play, of course, that they scored touchdowns on multiple times in the Super Bowl. And once again, I know people want to make the Patrick Mahomes is a GOAT debate. I'm okay with that. The issue is the red zone. The first touchdown that they scored earlier in this game was a wide open touchdown in the red zone, and this is another case of it. Kelce, it's just a very simple thing he needs to do. Just occupy this corner, and that's exactly what he does. Kelce's holding this corner, and look at this. God, this is gangster right here. I want you to see, Travis Kelce didn't even watch the play. He even stopped running. He knew that this was going to work. That is nasty, and he's looking at the video board. Look at that. He's not even looking at the play. He knows that this is, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry level stuff, right? He's already knowing that this is a game. Okay, look, he even gave up. Okay? That is so nasty right there. Okay? It really is. Now, man, okay. Can a rules expert help me out here? Is this a legal man downfield? Okay, please let me know if this should have been an illegal man downfield penalty. It makes me think that it is. Is this an RPO right here? Because look at this. I mean, I understand that earlier in the game that it could have been an illegal man downfield on the Christian McCaffrey trick play. I think in the NFL, the rule is 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. Okay. And it does look like they are 1 yard past the line of scrimmage here when Mahomes is throwing this football. But still, that is abso-freaking-lutely redunculous. It felt like San Francisco played the overall better game, and in particular, it's because of that first half. But the truth is, whether you believe in Taylor Swift conspiracies or you just want to talk about the halftime show, anytime Patrick Mahomes has plus money and is the underdog, you obviously take that opportunity because the guy's so freaking good. And it's also Andy Reid. This was a lot of fun. And when you actually break this stuff down, it's honestly very simple stuff. And if you actually believe in this one concept, the idea of an offense isn't necessarily to have the absolute best athletes. Yes, it does help having Tyreek Hill in the early years and Travis Kelce, but you got to look at it from a Kansas City point of view, right? Look at all the elite talents that have turned out to just be not really elite talents, right? Sky Moore was a high round draft pick, didn't work out. My guy Clyde Edwards-Helaire really hadn't worked out. Obviously the great Kadarius Toney. He won them a Super Bowl last year with the punt returns, and him and Sky Moore caught and made big plays last year. No big deal. And the reason why it is not a big deal is because of these play designs and the greatness of Patrick Mahomes. It's just easy stuff, easy completions, and defensively, you've got to do a better job of making life difficult for them, but it's really freaking hard because it does seem at all times they have all the answers. So, yeah, 49ers, I think they're favored to win next year's Super Bowl, and I can't wait to see if they're going to get back at this spot. And let me know, my first NFL video here on Power Hour NFL. If you would like me to do a San Francisco 49ers offense breakdown towards the end, it is Power Hour NFL. Boom! And tonight we are doing some elotes corn dip. Let's go.